Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's late January and I am still hunting. After the holidays, I realized that my Michigan deer tag actually gives me an opportunity to hunt till January 31st. In southeastern Michigan, there's some counties that allow what they call a suburban deer hunt up until January 31st. And what I've done is I've found a winter camping spot in that area, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some hunting in some state rec areas that allow that sort of thing, and I'm going to see if I can punch my tag, and I'm going to do it walking around with my crossbow. Years ago when I was a young teenager, I had one uncle that actually deer hunted, and I asked him, why does he sit still when he could be walking through the woods and looking for deer that way? As a kid, I always thought that was more sporting, more fun. That's what I envisioned hunting was all about. And he said, that's still hunting. I was like, well, why do they call it still hunting if you're walking around? And he told me, he goes, well, when I'm field dressing my deer, those guys are still hunting. And that always stuck with me as is not really a productive way to hunt. And I've never done it. I've always got my deers from tree stands. So stay tuned and let's keep our fingers crossed that we can come across some deer. This camera I'm going to mount on my crossbow, so it's a 200 zoom lens on this. It's a really great camera. I've had it for quite a while, but it still works good, so hopefully I can get some footage with it tonight. I'm sure you can hear the cars driving by. We're not far from the road. Keep in mind, this is what they call a suburban hunt. So the whole idea is that it's around people, right? So what I've done is I've parked my trailer and I've walked in just with the gear that I'm wearing. I have all my camo and I have my crossbow in its pack there. I'm going to put that together and I'm going to get my camo on. Just found a secluded area here. It's just one of those things where it seems like you're doing something wrong, but you're not. It's legal to hunt in this state rec area. But having said that, there's mountain bike trails, and I'm a big mountain biker, and I've been on the other end of things, coming down a trail, seeing guys in hunter orange during deer season and that stuff. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but I know how, I just don't want to have that encounter with somebody. So kind of sneaking off here, I'll get my stuff on. I found an area where there's nothing but woods. It's dense. There's no trails running through this area. And I know there's deer. There's a ton of deer. I came in this morning and I've already seen deer tracks over my tracks from the night before. This is one of the reasons why I buy this 3D leafy camo. I feel it gives me a lot of flexibility. It's very versatile because I have a lot of outdoor gear that's not camo. So why be repetitive and buy Gore-Tex hunting gear with a camo pattern, or a snow pattern, or in the early season green leafy pattern? These things are fairly inexpensive. You buy these and you have good gear underneath it. You gotta still maintain your scent control, that sort of thing. But I just feel, you know, in a situation like this, I can pack it in really easy, put it on, take it off, that sort of things. All right, got my gear on, let's go for a little walk. So one of the best things about onX off-road is the ability to know when you're on public land and private land. So I use that when I set up my campsite, especially when I do a lot of dispersed camping on public land. In Michigan specifically, there's a lot of small sections that's private land. Sometimes it's not always marked. So I really rely on onX off-roads to know that I'm not leaving my valuable, priceless trailer, Eddie, on someone's property, and they're gonna be, you know, not exactly happy with me. So the last thing I want to do is cause some bad feelings to someone damaging or towing my trailer away, right? So, and now I'm walking and spending time on the state rec area, and there's also great markings to tell you when you're walking, traveling through public land and private land. So I've been stalking my way through this direction, and I realize now that I'm heading toward the end of the state rec area that backs onto some private property. So I'm going to veer off to the right, get back into the swamp area, and make my way back and keep looking. So I'm just going to hunker down in this tree. Temperature's dropped. It's gotten quite a bit colder. The snow is really crunchy. So I'm just going to hunker down here until dark and then head back to the trailer. So I've been back about an hour and a half from hunting, but I need to warm up. I stayed out a little too long, and by the time I got back to Eddie, I was shivering uncontrollably. I haven't been that cold in a long time, so luckily my wife's with me. See, scent control is tough when you got all these essential oils going in here.
I got one essential oil.
She had her electric blanket all hooked up and a fire going in the trailer, made me a hot tea, so took my time. It's been an hour and a half warming up. I'm back to being out in the cold again. So we're gonna get the slide out kitchen out and charcoal barbecue, and we're gonna get some ribs going and have some dinner. Seems appropriate to be in Michigan for the Lions game. Luckily, I got barely enough reception to stream it on my phone, so go Lions. I'm sure they take care of business against Washington. So good morning. I didn't really feel like filming last night. The Lions loss was pretty disappointing, so wasn't really in the mood to get my camera out and do any filming. So I just kind of went to bed in my misery. But now it's a new morning, it's a new day. We've had snow overnight, so there's fresh snow. Hopefully it'll be easy to track any deer that we come across. So let's keep our fingers crossed. I'm just going to finish my coffee here, pack up again. I'll leave my lovely wife sleeping inside Eddie with the wood stove going, and I'm going to bundle up and get out into the woods and see what we find. So I can't believe I actually caught up to them. So they went off, but because they're used to people, I'm hoping that I'll be able to follow their tracks and meet up with them again. I'm upwind of them, so I might have a shot if I can get a little closer. They're still like 100 yards away. That's a buck. That's a nice buck. Okay, I got back up to them. They're still about 100 yards away. I'm going to use this tree for cover here. I'm just going to stay here and see if they just put their heads down and relax again. That's a nice buck there. That was pretty exciting just to be that close. Let's see how we do here. This would be a great shot, but there's limbs in the way. Well, they had enough of me. They're done playing, and I'm don't have the energy to keep following them. So that was pretty exciting. If I had a rifle, that would have been a successful hunt. I would have had a nice buck down. You know, closest I got was it was a stretch for a crossbow shot. It would have been over 50 yards. So, and there was limbs in the way, so I wasn't going to do that. I'm happy with the experience that I had today. Pretty fascinating, actually. You know, first time ever doing that, and had some success tracking down some deer. The snow obviously helps a lot. I think that they're used to people. Normally, if you're in some remote woods, those deer would have been gone. You'd never found them again. So, you know, all said and done, it was pretty successful. I'm pretty excited. I hope you enjoyed coming along for the adventure. If you haven't already done so, subscribe. I'm continually building my trailer, taking on adventures. I camp out of. I do just about every sort of adventure outdoors related that you can do out of my trailer. So subscribe if you haven't already done so, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.